Hello, everyone. I guess we're recording now. I'm doing the technical difficulties, which is difficult for me on my own. Hey, everyone, James Nussbaumer, and thanks for joining me in another episode of Everyday Miracles Moment on Video. But today I'm going to be longer than just a moment. And today we want to discuss changing how we think. If that deep state or that status quo that much of us like to talk about, what's going on these days, seems to be getting the best of you. Uh, I want to share a little bit about that, but how can we change our life by turning around our way of thinking and not be controlled by how we are kind of sometimes we think programmed to be? Does that make sense? But basically, the most important part of this video today is that when we're up against how can we really turn our life around? So let me get started and say that let's look at some words that we can use, some self dialogue that we can change around so that we are just know how to deep within us to our inner core that I'll mention, how to change the way we think, turn our life around, change the way we think according to our inner, real, true values, not what has been dictated by others. I mean, words in our vocabulary that, we might change around to change our life around and how to get what we want. Excuse me, but if we are collectively willing to change how we think, there requires, I would say, to be some way or an avenue on how to discuss the experiences that we've had in our life. And that's a part of what I do from my book series. For those of you that know my story, know that the bumps in the road, the hurdles, the life challenges really lead us to as much perfection as we can get to while we're in this world. But as you absorb this video, I want to share a principle from the Course in Miracles, an esoteric spiritual principle from A Course in Miracles that states, yet in this world, your perfection is unwitnessed. God knows it, but you do not. And so you do not share his witness to it. Now, I'm going to repeat that because many of you have told me lovingly that you just love it when I include these words in the description area down below here at YouTube, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to repeat that. A Course in Miracles states, yet in this world, your perfection is unwitnessed. God knows it, but you do not. And so you do not share his witness to it. So yes, it is reasonably satisfactory to everyone to be that they all can be and to think that way. And we all want to be everything we can be in this world. But the how can I change my life words or dialogue that I'm talking about today can be specified by the use of, say, a good handful of primary words that I'm going to share with you. And some of these words are as follows: the word no, N-O, the word hello, thanks, goodbye, please, sorry, yes, and so many other associated words and phrases to turn your life around that are key words for allowing you to not allow, if that makes sense, to have a deep state or status quo controlling how you think. Now, I'm going to expand on that in a minute, so bear with me. But each of us has to learn how to tap into our own individual strengths and weak points. Now, I'm sure that you agree with that. But yes, we must consider how to change the way we think for what we're aligned to in our inner core. You know, there's a questionnaire that has been recently designed, and I investigated it, and it's been statistically confirmed that it's all about the capability, how to lead an individual kind of truly fast and rapidly to an indecisive degree of self-awareness. Self-awareness, do we really know what that is? But it can likewise be used as a tool for how to turn your life around, and for practitioners or self-help coaches or teachers or whatever who are listening in. I mean, like those one-to-one sessions of change your life therapy that you might be going through. Maybe you are experiencing the psychologist's couch right now, which is okay. Let's go on to the words that are effective that I like to use. They form the fashion. I like to use that word fashion for how we believe, and for that reason, how we act wrong mindedly at times. Wrong mindedly means actions based on the ego based mind, based on fear, doubt, and guilt. And that's what the deep state likes to lead us to. So, how can we not think and talk to ourselves in a wrong minded way that we are so used to? We're being taught that we don't really realize it. Consider deceit, for example, that the billionaire headed cobra of hypocrisy and sensationalism has led us to. I'm going to repeat that. The billionaire headed cobra of hypocrisy and sensationalism. What has that led us to? Let's consider then the mind becomes baffled. Baffled if we abuse them or the employment of propaganda in our house. In other words, if we use that sensationalism again around our inner core, and that's hypocrisy and sensationalism doesn't agree with, then they they try to cover and darken our inner core of true beliefs. What is they? Well, it's the hypocrisy and the sensationalism that I'm talking about. That is the deep state. And then it results in conflict all over the world. For example, to end a war and to change how we think, we must speak truth, not just speak it verbally and materially like I'm doing to you right now, but speak the truth from our heart within ourselves and speak the truth, not buy into that $1 billion headed cobra of hypocrisy and all that materialism, which material things are fine in this world. We should have them. And I'm not going to go there, but you understand where I'm going through there, where I don't have to explain. But we can look differently at all elements of life when we look through the lens of change your life words. We can see what is in fact going on in our system, and in an interaction of evaluating how I perhaps can change my life through self dialogue that penetrates to the inner core. I'm talking about its elements into each of the turn your life around words. And we're going to get into that. An individual advancement, personal development, or corporate management, and in the context of your career choices that you're making. Think about some career choices we make. And don't we make mistakes along the way in career choices? Wow, for those of you that know my story, know that I sure did. But we have to get over it. That's where self-forgiveness comes in. If you are weak on words like hello, then it may be unsuitable to become, say, a receptionist at a big corporation. To change your life, and I use that as an example, but to change your life around words and stages of management, getting back to that, are explained and are applied in individual company strategies. Any company you go to, they have their own textbook, right? I mean, their rules and their standards, which we all have to abide by rules, right? But I mean that's usually the case as a result, as a way, I guess, to result rapid changes, modifications, plainly and cleanly, I guess I would like to say, without leaving out any vital elements of the process. All right, so now what do I mean? Well, at a greater level, and the greater level is deep within us, the inner core of how to change how we think, we can see that there are brand new ideas going on everywhere. But the billion-dollar headed hypocrisy and the sensationalism that we have to put up with doesn't, they want to close our eyes to all that. Well, and for that reason, newer avenues, newer ways, newer methods to attend the major problems of our times are using words and self-dialogue to our inner core, such as what I'm going to present to you right now. Consider this type of self-dialogue. War, W-A-R, war connects to no. No, I don't want war, right? Media corruption connects to hello. I don't want media corruption. I'm not going to buy into it. Correct? Correct? Hello. Hardship connects to thank you. For those of you that know my story and what I went through, which my books detail, I was giving continuous thank yous to my inner guide, which I call the Holy Spirit, all along the way. Environmental issues, let's say, associate with goodbye to environmental issues. Human rights relate to please. Let's take a look at this. Tyranny that we're seeing right now, that is one of the biggest ingredients of the deep state. Tyranny associates with, sorry, I'm not going to put up with you anymore. How about that kind of inner dialogue? Is there anything wrong with that? I think that cleanses and opens up your inner core. It removes the cloud cover that's covering your inner core, that the billion-dollar cobra-headed of hypocrisy and sensationalism has put there. That cloud cover has covered your inner core. Looking from the idea of turn your life around, words that I just mentioned, point of view, that point of view, we can discover and see an arrangement of all new things that are coming forth in us. And when they come forth in us, they come forth all around the world. And I mean, yes, between things that seemed extremely different. For example, science and religion. Or we encourage people to establish their capability based on their optimistic mindfulness rather than that sensationalism or that hypocrisy that is thrown in our face to block the truth within us. Wow, I hope this makes sense. We can likewise comprehend our history, our American history, sure, our world history, in a new way of thinking in which the agricultural and industrial revolutions are comprehended, and I like to use that word comprehended, and I'll explain, are comprehended as phases of the development of humankind's consciousness. I like to use the word comprehend because to me it's a reflective relation to creativity from our consciousness, our real consciousness, from the human or from the spiritual inner core, not from the human billion-dollar headed cobra of hypocrisy and the sensationalism that we think we have to live by and that we fear and doubt, but are afraid to say that we fear and doubt it. You don't have to say it publicly if you don't want. Accept it in your heart. That your heart is not about the sensationalism and the billion-dollar headed hypocrisy. Let me move on after I take a sip of my latte here. That this enables us to take into new perspectives the current crisis we are facing. What is the current crisis we're facing? Isn't it always something we're facing in the eyes of the billion-dollar headed hypocrisy and the sensationalism all over? Aren't we facing a crisis right now? With some of us say there's fraud in the election, others are fighting it. We're not going to get into that today. But I think for those of you that know me, know that I'm against the deep state. I'm against the billion-dollar headed cobra of hypocrisy. I'm against the sensationalism. That should tell you enough right there. I'm talking about the how I can change my life thoughts and words we use that can help us move forward and just let go, drop that cloud cover that has been put over our true inner core. It's defined as by the by the use by the turn your life around words and ideas and phrases of your optimistic outlook that comes from your inner core, not something based on sensationalism. I'm sure you could come up with some more thoughts on your own, and I'm sure that you are digging deep right now, if you're listening to me this far in the video, of where I'm coming from. By the way, keep in mind that down below in the description area here at YouTube, I've got several links down there. One includes how to get to my books, and another with a great video from a colleague of mine that put together a wonderful, wonderful system called Bring My Dreams to Reality. That's down there below too. I hope that you'll check that out because it's really, really opens our mind to accessing our inner core to get what we want in life and to turn our life around when we're up against all the BS that's going on, I could say. These turn your life around words are applied in everything that we do in life, whether it's just a casual hello on the street to someone. Well, for example, I like to say that science and faith and Christianity and whatever religion it might be, Judaism, Islam, Muslim, it doesn't matter. But we can make drastic advancements for the betterment of the world when we just learn to honor the true essence of what the religious beliefs we believe in are trying to teach us. None of us can buy our way into heaven. That doesn't work. A Course in Miracles further states us that the link which the Father joins himself to those he gives the power to create can never be dissolved. Again, and I've also noted those words down below in the description area too here at YouTube. Course in Miracles states the link which the Father joins himself to those he gives the power to create can never be dissolved. Aren't we given the power to create? Yes, that's how we turn our life around and get the life we want. Likewise, we have to encourage individuals to establish their capability for a more right-minded approach. Right-minded, where we don't let that fear and doubt and guilt get in our way. We operate from our true inner core. Yes, it's about human and spiritual connection, aligning for a healthier world globally and for a world of peace. Hey, everyone, I hope that you'll join me and I hope you'll follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and I'm on Gab right now. I've got those links down below as well. And please follow my and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're still listening to me, click on subscribe right now. I hope that you'll do that. And by the way, please support my work again. And I've got the access anywhere you want to look and search about me, it's there. But I want to close by saying, like I always do, I hope you're thinking a lot about your own life and your own true natural beauty that is within you. That true natural beauty from your inner core is not built on the billion-dollar headed cobra of hypocrisy or sensationalism. No, it's not. It was that beautiful natural inner state of you, that beautifulness about you that makes you glow, was given to you in the creation. It's yours forever. It's something that a billion-headed dollar cobra of hypocrisy or sensationalism can never buy for you. Until next time, everyone, I wish the best to you in life and love and all the success the world has to offer you. God bless.